is sensational for Cincinnati. Mitch Hildebrand, the hero, and the underdogs have prevailed once again.
I would like to present the USL Regular Season Championship to FC Cincinnati. Congratulations to the players, the staff, and most importantly, the fans on a record-breaking season. Congratulations.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for your regular season champions, FC Cincinnati.
In a foot race, Cincinnati plays this across. Vasquez with the finish. Brandon Vasquez gives Cincinnati the 2-1 lead. A late breakdown by Red Bull.
Well, Dylan Nealis gets beaten, and nobody covers the streaking run. Unbelievable.
L'Oreal got under that. Oh! What a goal for FC Cincinnati! You could dream.
The Flying Lion says,
boys, hell is real.
2023 Supporter Shield champ.
So glad that I can be back with people who know that it's a Flying Lion.
It shows how much we all love this club.
Yeah, just a fan of the sport, you know.
I want to play for these fans because these fans are amazing.
In this club, you don't play just for the club, you play for the fans.
I'm here for the fans.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome back. Thanks everyone for joining us. What's going on, guys? Hey everyone, thanks for joining us for a live edition here of the Flying Lion podcast, another World Cup edition. Sam, Folarin Balogun, he's freed, he's back. It's so funny we put out, our title being like US win, but at what cost? And then this happens today out of nowhere. What amazing news to hear here.
Yeah, I don't think anybody saw this one coming. Apparently we need to read, Article 27 FDC of, this is crazy, the fact that this happened. And obviously it comes during a World Cup where the US is hosting. So obviously the corruption around FIFA is going to be even louder now that, our faces are on it. But Ryan, this is, hey, who cares? We get flow back. I think that's amazing. Amazing breaking news, right? You get the US that wins, right? And then you get a great July 4th. And then the very next day, Balogun's free. What a, series of days there.
Yeah, pretty incredible. So we'll break down this past win against Bosnia, the round of 32, hit on some of the crazy storylines in the knockout round. Because again, Sam, this World Cup has just been incredible. We got a trivia question for you guys related to the US team as well. We'll hit our card of the week. Some other FC Cincinnati storylines. We're again inching our way closer to the second half of the season. We do have a match. FC Cincinnati is playing this coming Friday. Sam's rocking his kit right now against Burnley. So JJ Watt's team is coming to town. They recently got relegated from the Premier League, but we'll kind of talk a little bit about what that's going to look like and then preview our match against Belgium. Again, we kind of had to tweak everything because Flow is back, Sam. Let's roll into that just because this is breaking news here in the last hour. Apparently FIFA, was making this independent decision. People, I guess had looked at the video, looked at kind of the situation and said, no, the ref shouldn't have, looked at this in slow-mo on VAR. Ultimately, it works out in the U.S. favor. I've seen all these posts saying like, man, we're a proper football country now, with the fact that we have this little bit of suspicion of some things going on in the background.
Yeah. What can you say about this situation that hasn't already been said? But I think it is funny that, players found out that this was overturned on the way to training on the bus via social media.
Yeah.
So I thought that was really funny. And the US soccer didn't officially get the word until 10:30 this morning. If you're, listening live to us right now, which is, just bang, bang, right? Like everything happens within a couple hours and the news gets out. And Ryan, but however, just to clarify for some people who are like, hey, this is awesome, but I thought he was, suspended. What happens to that, right? So his suspension is on a probationary period for 1 year. So if he, steps out of line again, they can just
Did
Pretty
you say
much.
that on purpose? If he steps out of line, that was good because he did step on the guy. So
Yeah, well, I didn't say
I like what you
yeah,
did.
not on purpose there, but more of the wording that you would usually get with probationary, right? But since it is for a year, right? If he has another foul where he's either given a red card or it can be deemed as vicious, they can just activate that suspension in whenever they'd like, pretty much.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, apparently this happened with Cristiano Ronaldo in the Euros as well. He was kind of put on a probationary situation, but it got rid of the red card in that, and it got rid of the red card in this one, which, as we had talked about last week, a little bit just behind the scenes, we felt like, I mean, it was unfair. I think it was unfair. Like, in the law of the game, intent doesn't matter, and it's an egregious tackle. But if you go and you just look at the slow-mo, yeah, it's going to look bad. The guy was just trying to put his foot on the ground. I'm happy that, more than anything, I'm happy that he's able to play. And now, honestly, there's just no excuse that the U.S. can have, because you're at full strength. Christian's back. Flo's able to play. Belgium didn't have, 3 or 4 days to prepare now for Flo. And here we are. Now, Sam and I had looked up back in March, we played Belgium and Flo played. So it's not like they're not used to playing him, but he's just on another level right now. So it will be very interesting to see some more stuff behind the backgrounds. I had to kind of shout it out here. The Uno reverse card meme that's going around is hilarious. If you guys missed this one, Flo holding up the Uno reverse card to the referee, giving him the red. I had a friend that had told me that that should be his celebration. If he scores against Belgium, he's got to do the Uno reverse, or because he's had so many goals called back with VAR. That I think that's kind of funny.
Yeah, give one right back at you. I like that. On top of that, Ryan, news came out that even the Trump's cabinet or the White House office called and kind of asked Infantino to review the red card. I thought that was kind of funny. Obviously, FIFA to come out and say, "Hey, it didn't influence our decision at all," but like,
did it?
All is still like it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's crazy that this happens. Like, I don't know why it can't be ruled like 2 or 3 days ago. That's the biggest thing for me. Like, why now? Why 24 hours almost, before the match that we hear this? But hey, it doesn't matter.
Gotta love the drama.
We're playing, and how does that change our preparation, do you think, Sam, for the U.S. men's national team? Maybe we'll cover that a little bit later on in our preview, so stay tuned for that, and I'll let Sam kind of think about that one. But our instant reaction, we'll kind of briefly go through it just with that Bosnia win. We had a 2-0 win in San Francisco. Again, the crowd was incredible for this one. The U.S. men's national team went with their striped kits, with their white shorts and white socks. Still not my favorite combination. I like the blue shorts with the white socks. Sam knew I was going to say it too. But yeah, it's crazy that now the U.S. men's national team have reached the knockout stage for the 5th straight tournament. Obviously, they completely missed the World Cup in 2018. So, but of the ones they were in, we found a way to get to the knockout stage. It's just sometimes we can't advance, and they advance in this one. It was just an incredible match, Sam.
Yeah, obviously you're looking for consistency, right, from this U.S. men's national team. And hopefully, as Ryan said, we'll touch on a little bit more. We can go above and beyond just being consistent and making the knockout stages. But, they were looking for their first knockout win since 2002. So that was something that was up in the air against Bosnia as well.
I couldn't believe that. With all the Landon Donovan.
Oh, my God. I know, right?
Like goals and everything. Like, that was the last time. I mean.
Yeah, but Ryan, in this one, starting 11, pretty much all the same. You get Pulisic back in the starting 11, which was nice. But like you said, all guns blazing in this one. Everybody's healthy. No excuses against Bosnia as well. And it took a while for them to get going. Bosnia was giving it to us, being very physical. They had a chance in which Matt Freese made an unbelievable save to keep it level, and that way we wouldn't go down first. But right before half, you were saying, "Hey, we got to get a goal before half. We got to get a goal before half." And what do you know? Flo's there.
Well, and everything you said, it was like right back to our preview. It was like Bosnia is going to play offset pieces. They're going to be physical. They're going to boot the ball long, to Dzeko, their striker, and that's exactly how it played out in the first half. It was very physical. There's a lot of shenanigans going, off the ball. Like, honestly, should have been a PK on Flo at one point. He has one called back at one point, but then finally gets a goal in the 45th minute, like Sam said, right before half. I mean, just a huge confidence boost, because the longer this match goes on 0-0, the more the Bosnians kind of gain in confidence. So I was definitely happy that he gets this goal. Sam, do you want to break down what you saw in this play?
Yeah. So, I mean, Tim Ream, brought down a long kick from Bosnia, was able to kind of intercept it there and give it to Tyler Adams, who then played it ahead to Tillman. And Tillman was able to, the ball gets bounced around a little bit trying to find Balogun. And once again, if you're hot, you're hot, right? The ball will find you. And just luckily kind of finds Balogun's foot, and left-footed shot, Ryan, he buries it.
Yeah, I mean, that's a striker in form right there. Like you said, it's just going to fall to you in the right way and you're going to bury it. But if it's like, flow of past times where he's kind of been a little colder, it's like, oh, the ball bounces away, it doesn't come to him. And I think that's where I was very disappointed that, in the second half, he gets this red card. And I'm just bummed for the guy, because he's been playing out of his mind, and the way that he's made this team kind of connect in the front lines. Because our next guy we're going to talk about, Malik Tillman, and him have been connecting just unbelievable, with Pulisic as well. And I just feel like that grouping, I was going to be really upset to not have him, but we don't have to worry about that anymore. So in the second half, so we touched on the red card. It put us down to 10 men for about 30 minutes. I honestly, Sam, I know there was a lot of chances that Bosnia had. I never felt super worried, though.
No, it was never like the Australia match where you were going, oh, okay, well, Australia in the second half against us had a decent amount of chances where you're like, oh, okay, like they could have equalized, or they could have, at least gotten one on us. And it just felt like we kind of remained in control in most ways, which it shouldn't be like that when you're playing down a man.
Right.
But it was nice to see that the U.S. continued to fight. And oh my gosh, you get probably the best goal that the U.S. has scored in this, World Cup so far, right? If not, maybe the last couple.
Yeah, I mean, and what's crazy, I sent you this video. I think Josie Altidore several years ago had a very similar set piece goal in the same stadium.
Yeah.
And Malik Tillman does almost the same exact thing, scores in the same corner that Josie Altidore does. 82nd minute, just a beautiful shot up and over the wall, a little bit of knuckle to it. Apparently the wind was blowing in the stadium, so it might have kind of drifted the ball away from the keeper.
Thank you, Bay Area.
There you go. Exactly. Right. The keeper gets like a little touch on it, but it was just an unbelievable strike. I think everyone was going bananas, because from there, it just sealed it, going up 2-0 versus 1-0. At the very end there, they're searching for a goal and trying to do everything they can. What was cool, Sam, I sent you this after as well, if everyone missed it. Malik had gotten stepped on, earlier on in the second half, and he has this like bloody sock and had to switch his right shoe. So right before the free kick, a few minutes before, switches shoes and then just puts in this banger of a goal. I'm like, bro, wear the shoe the rest of the tournament. This is what we need to do. But you see him after in the post-game conference. The guy didn't have to take off his shoes, Sam, but he takes off his shoes so everyone can see the bloody sock. This is similar to Bert Schilling in baseball, the bloody sock. I knew you were going to go there.
Well, yeah, of course, right? I mean, both iconic moments. And yeah, I mean, he ends up getting it done. So bloody sock and all, he's able to put that goal in the back of the net. Just saying, I predicted the 2-0 win, so I'll put that notch in my belt for that one. But yeah, once again, Ryan, Balogun becomes the third player to score 3 or more goals in a single FIFA World Cup. I mean, Landon Donovan, I think, had 3 in 2010, and Bert Patenaude had 4 in 1930. So shout out to Bert. Okay, so flow's coming for Bert. All right, you never know here this next match. But once again, Pochettino, most wins all time at a FIFA World Cup for U.S. men's national team manager. Pretty impressive there. He kind of breaks the deadlock. I think Bruce Arena and maybe who else? Maybe Berhalter had 2, or who else had 2?
No, I don't think Berhalter. They won only the Iran match.
The one, yeah.
Yep. So I think Wasn't Bob Bradley, I don't think. Either. I
Bradley,
think Bruce
maybe.
Arena might have been the other one, actually.
Yeah. But once again, Ryan, I thought this was crazy. The most watched soccer match in U.S. television history with 33.5 million viewers. Not bad.
Yeah, that is pretty insane. I think, again, just the viewership for this is incredible. Everyone wants to be a part of it. They want to watch. I mean, it was, a Wednesday night, I think, for this one, and the coming one on a Monday night, too. It's going to be like Monday Night Soccer, so I'm pumped about that. But, yeah, I think combined with, like, Telemundo is what we're looking at, the history and the viewership, right?
Yeah.
If we're talking about, like, even just the Fox one by itself, I mean, it's close to the numbers that the NBA Finals is putting up. So people are really enjoying it. And again, let's just see where this goes. But jersey swap, Sam, who'd you have this week?
Yeah, I went with Matt Freese. So I think he has been phenomenal in this World Cup. He has honestly played better than I think anybody would have expected him to play. He's had 2 clean sheets, one against Australia and then now against Bosnia. And both matches, I thought he was a very big part in why we won the match, right? Because if you're able to keep the goals out, even if the defense is looking a little shaky here or there, like I said, that huge save in this match against Bosnia, if you go down early and you let that goal in, I mean, who knows what could have happened the rest of the match? Does that snowball, right? Because we've seen that happen with the U.S. men's national team specifically. So I think he's really been playing above a lot of people's expectations so far in this World Cup. And who knows? I mean, what happens after this World Cup? Could he get a move or what's going to happen? But I'm proud to say he's an MLS guy.
I was very shocked that you were going to say this, honestly. Like, I just did not expect you to say Matt Freese. Like, I feel like, if anything, the defense has shown out and done a good job, and that's why, Freese hasn't really been tested. But it's not like Tim Howard having to, like, stand on his head and...
No, yeah, but I mean, once again, you have to have at least...
He's done what he's needed to do.
Yeah, exactly.
He's done what he's needed to do, but I wouldn't say, like, he was, like, the guy...
He's let up 1 goal.
Okay. Yeah. In the whole tournament?
Whole tournament.
Yeah. Well, the Paraguay one, right? Because he didn't play against Turkey.
Yeah.
So, okay. All right. Yeah.
Respect.
We're talking about just this one game in our jersey swap of the week, and that was your opinion.
Go ahead.
I had
Give
to
me
push
yours.
back a little bit on it. So
give me yours.
You filled it in for me because you knew who I was going to go with. It's Malik Tillman. I mean, the guy's just been incredible in this World Cup. He's shown out, honestly, I think better than a lot of our big stars. He hasn't had like a fantastic run at his club, but coming into the U.S., he just gains in confidence, and everyone around him kind of boosts Malik to do what he needs to do. I think that Pochettino instilling confidence in Tillman, honestly, has really brought the best out of him too. If we talk about a year ago, 6 months ago, 3 months ago, you would have seen Christian Pulisic over the ball on that free kick, and he entrusted a bloody socked Malik Tillman to go and score this unbelievable goal. So, and he's taking our corners too, Sam. So I really feel like Malik has, really shown his quality, especially in this match, and just how key he is. So moving forward, hopefully his foot is okay, his toe that got stepped on. But I really think he's going to be vital as we continue to move on through the knockout stage.
Without a doubt, the way that he is playing and the way that Pochettino has him playing formation wise has been just a game changer, right? We've talked about this, week after week since this World Cup has started. He has been arguably the best midfielder in this World Cup, like out of everyone, right? You look at the stats, you look at the numbers, and just the eye test, right? So it's nice to see a guy of that quality being up there with the best of the world in this World Cup.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. Does he stay at Leverkusen then? What do you think?
Probably for the time being. I don't know. You never know at the end of the World Cup if somebody slides in and puts up a big offer, right?
What about Flo? There's a lot of talk about him.
Oh yeah, Flo's probably making a move. If news is already out there about it, it's going to happen, before that September deadline.
Yeah, we'll see what that looks like. But Sam, we're going to roll on because the craziness of the World Cup has just been insane, especially over the past week. Knockout stage, it's only amplified it, just because of the stakes, obviously having to perform. We've seen a lot of, matches decided in PK fashion as well. This round of 32, though, again, in years past when it's been less matches, you wouldn't have had this. But now you have, again, Paraguay beating Germany. You have Ivory Coast playing super, super tough against dominant teams. And now we have this next round that we're going to talk about here in a little bit. But 11 of the 16 round of 32 matches were decided by 1 goal. I mean, that's insane. Do you want to recap a little bit our predictions from last episode?
Do you have it pulled up?
I do.
Oh boy.
I do. I'm putting Sam on the spot here with it. So Netherlands versus Morocco. Crazy match if you guys missed this one. PKs,
of course, that's the first one you go to.
It's on the list. It's the first one on the list. Sam put the Netherlands. I put Morocco.
Yeah.
Ivory Coast, Norway. We both had Norway. Got that one right. France killing Sweden. Mexico beating Ecuador. Had England beating Congo. Close match, though. I mean, that was crazy. Portugal, Croatia. Again, another insane one, but Portugal somehow pulls it out. Sam had Australia. I had Egypt. So I got that one right. Colombia versus Ghana had Colombia. Spain versus Austria had Spain for both of us. And then the last one, we had the Swiss over Algeria. So I think I nailed every round of 32-1. We had recorded last week, after the fact, I would have probably picked Germany. Sam probably would have picked Germany too. But it's sad. I don't know if I updated our brackets, Sam. Like if you guys went and did the second chance brackets before the round of 32, hopefully you got all of these right as well. But Sam, I don't think I went back and did it. I should have put money on it.
I know. So if Ryan was a betting man, right? Come on, you gotta listen. You gotta listen to Zach's advice.
I should have. So of all the ones that I just listed there, let's hit on some big storylines, Sam. Which ones did you like the most out of this round?
Well, obviously the big one that stands out is this Paraguay beating Germany in penalties, right? It just an unbelievable end of the match. This Paraguay team stood with these European giants, right? In Germany, Neuer stands on his head, right, and saves Germany. It looks like, oh my gosh, like they're going to turn this around. They were down 2 in penalties, right? And he's able to make that last save. But Paraguay getting by Germany. Unfortunately, obviously, yesterday they lose to France and frustrate them, according to Mbappe, by not playing football. So we've dealt with Paraguay before in doing that. But I mean, Ryan, what a match that was.
Yeah, it was incredible. We would touch on a little bit, but now as the last week has kind of unfolded, you see all of what's going on inside of German football. All of these players that may never even play again for the German national team because of this. Nagelsmann is out. Klopp is in already, within a week of them, losing and getting knocked out. It's crazy their last several tournaments, just how awful they've been. So that's a big storyline. Netherlands going out as well. Morocco seems to just be on a heater. They just beat, Canada in the first match of the round of 16. So that just happened yesterday. That was a crazy one.
Morocco's for real. Like
they are.
Everybody, they went you're looking at
Final Four, the last World Cup.
Yeah, you're looking at 2022 going, man, that just was not a fluke. That was kind of a, hey, we're here and we're going to be here for a while.
I'm going to say it now. They are what the Belgians' golden generation should have been.
Makes sense.
Not just because we're playing them tomorrow, but I mean, they've looked good. So past that, what do you think of the call in the Portugal-Croatia match, Sam? In extra time, you see a goal that's scored by Croatia, gets called back because the guy's hair potentially touched the ball. We have sensors in the ball. What do you think of this?
So, I mean, I think via the rules, right? They're
rules guy.
I'm just like, okay, that's how you have to look at it, right? It is via the rules, right? It was offside. However, when you talk about the game itself, you're kind of going, like, I wish they would have allowed that goal, because for the game, for the eye test, right, it would have been good for the game. But at the same time, if you implement rules, you kind of have to abide by those rules. And if you put a sensor in the ball, you kind of have to trust the sensor to a fault, right? And if you don't put a sensor in the ball, then you don't have to worry about that. And then now people are going, you're going to trust a sensor over, whatever. Like, people malfunction just as much as machines do. So I think it is a little tough, but I mean, from a personal standpoint, I like seeing Portugal go through because that means my prediction was right. But what are your thoughts?
Yeah, crazy. Again, I agree with you. If there's going to be a censor, you have to abide by that. But it doesn't look like on the actual replay, maybe his hair barely touches the ball, and if that's enough to like call it, like, what are we doing? I don't know. It's crazy. Past that, Harry Kane saves England, like we talked about, and Erling Haaland does his thing for Norway to save Norway. Let's talk about probably the best match. We've had already all of these ones we're talking about. The best match, though, was Argentina and Cape Verde. I mean, unbelievable one. I think I saw somewhere out there like 2 billion people watched this match, which is just an insane number for a round of 32. But Argentina gets tested, and Cape Verde did not back down. They scored 2 different times to come back. The second goal has got to be the goal of the tournament. The Cape Verde guy afterwards goes up into the stands and celebrates, doesn't get a card at all.
What are these refs doing? What are these refs doing in this World Cup?
You can't take your shirt off, but you can go up into the stands. I don't know. I don't understand it, but I was so bummed to see that they just fell short in that one. It was just an incredible match, though.
Yeah, I think, you go back and you look at a match like that, and a lot of people are looking and zooming in on certain instances where fouls should have been called against Argentina that maybe weren't. And they were really trying to make sure Argentina won type feeling. But yeah, you got to clap it up for Cape Verde. I mean,
was it Drew Fisher for the Argentina match, the referee? Had you ever seen this stat? I think it was him.
Was it him?
This referee for the Argentina Cape Verde match, Sam, has refereed like 15 matches of Messi, and they've only had 1 tie. They've never lost when he's been the ref. 14 wins and 1 tie. This is going back to like Inter Miami games too.
Did you say he's got a poster of Messi in his room as well, or is that what?
It was in his referee locker. Actually.
Okay, got it was a locker. Okay, well,
yeah, crazy. But yeah, I think, wouldn't you say that was probably the match of the round for sure?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
500,000 people.
Well, yeah, even though it didn't go to PKs, I mean, what a match, right? Back and forth. Cape Verde, you were like, oh, okay, here we go. Argentina is going to get this goal, and then they're going to add another one. Cape Verde did not let them go, and it was pretty incredible to watch them continue to fight back until obviously the very end. But Ryan, I want to ask you this. So common theme in this round of 32, right? We talked about 11 of the 16 being decided by 1 goal. I think there were maybe 3 or 4 penalty shootouts, right? PK takers have not been doing well at all. Do you think the pressure's getting to these players? If so, like, I mean, talk about like playing, obviously, like you didn't play on that level, but what can you kind of talk about from like a PK standpoint?
Yeah, I mean, this has got to be the most viewed World Cup of all time. And you're going to touch on it here in a little bit, so I don't want to spoil it. But I feel like some guys are a little bit more leery to step up to the plate and to honestly take the PKs because of that, and they don't have the confidence. Now, what's interesting from just a logistic standpoint, if you're a manager of one of these World Cup teams, prior World Cups, you had to decide your 5 players ahead of time. Now in the World Cup, you actually don't have to decide the order, and you can just kind of step up and have certain guys take it, right? So I think it's honestly better if you kind of get it out of the way and you say, this is the order, this is who it's going to be, and everyone kind of knows that. And then that way they can kind of mentally prepare themselves. Are you going to do it or are you not? Now, we've seen interesting scenarios like, with Australia. Their keeper, Beach, right, has just been incredible for them. He gets taken off for the PKs and they lose. So from the flip side of it, even from a goalkeeper, there's a lot of different, thoughts about, do we want to have the PK specialist in or do we not? Like, I don't know. It's fascinating. I would have gone with hot hand in goal, but.
Well, right. Same match, right? You get Harrington, right? Colorado Rapids kid, 18 years old for Australia, and he misses it. And that's something that could live with you for, a decent while. And honestly, mentally could mess up with your development, but hopefully he's able to overcome that and go, hey, I stepped up, I took the PK unlike some other guys.
No, you're exactly right. I think the pressure is the most it's been, again, just because of the exposure and everyone watching. And honestly, more, eyes in the stadium too. I mean, these are the biggest stadiums that they're going to play in. I mean, that's a lot of people to go, and it's just you and the ball in that scenario. Now, I'm not going to spoil what I'm going to say. I was about to say something. I'm going to say it here in a little bit. Let's go to our trivia question here before we take a break. Sam, trivia question of the week presented by Goals TV. Who has scored the most goals in a single World Cup?
Oh boy.
Bonus points if you can name how many goals in a single tournament.
I have no idea. I'm just gonna go recency bias here. I'm gonna go Kylian Mbappe with 9, and that was last tournament.
Sam's locking it in. Let's see if he's right. So wait until the end, and we'll tell you guys the answer. What's going on, everyone? We are excited to partner with the Manu Ledesma Academy. FC Cincinnati fans know exactly what Manu Ledesma meant to this club, and now he's helping to develop the next generation of players through his academy.
Yeah, as a part of our partnership, the Flying Lion listeners, viewers can receive 50% off all training packages by using the code Flying Lion. That's FLYIN Lion. The discount also applies to the brand new Adults 40 Plus program launching soon.
So whether you're a young player looking to improve your game or an adult that's ready to get back on that field like me, this is an incredible opportunity for you to learn from one of FC Cincinnati's most beloved players, a legend, for this city. Use the code Flying Lion again for 50% off, and thanks for your support. Thanks again for joining us. Another World Cup edition here of the Flying Lion podcast. Second part of the episode here. We're going to start with our cards, Sam. What did you have this week? There's some good ones.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, a lot of good ones out there. But for me, I'm going to go straight back to what we just touched on before the break, and that is Germany's second set of penalty takers just straight up denying wanting to take the penalties. So once again, looking for someone to take the sixth penalty, Joshua Kimmich allegedly asking teammates to step up. You get players, you zoom in on players, right? They're hesitating. They're not really wanting to. I think Leon Goretzka, I think he asked Goretzka maybe twice, and Goretzka kind of like denied him twice. And then you finally get Jonathan Tah, who steps up, volunteers to take it, who has never taken a penalty before in a professional match, and skies it. People still say that the ball is in the water right outside the stadium. I mean, it's crazy. Germany spent 120 minutes trying to win the match. In the last 5 minutes trying to avoid participating in it. Like, this is wild.
Yeah, I think that was crazy. Being a player at that level, like, you have to be at some regards ready to take a penalty kick. Yeah. You're in the World Cup. Yeah. Like, and who would you rather have? Your center back that's never taken one, or Goretzka's been around? It's not like he hasn't. He's played for Bayern Munich. He's played in Champions Leagues. Like, why are we not stepping up and doing it? Like, I don't understand that. So is it more, what do you think, Sam? Is it worse that they said no, or that Tah missed it? Like, I feel for Tah now. Like, at first I'm like, man, that guy blew it. But to hear that everybody else said no, and he was kind of left to be like, all right, but you still have to be ready. You still have to be ready.
I would hate to be the players that said no and see Tah miss it, right? Knowing that, I could have made it. Like, you're sitting there going, I just cost my country by not saying yes because, he went and missed it. So I would feel worse if I was a player sitting there, denying.
Yeah, I don't know if it went around in the German media a little bit about, him asking around to the players. That would have been interesting if it was U.S. players, if it was like, hey, you see Tim Ream going around and asking guys and they're like, we're good. I mean, that would have been huge news.
Oh, yeah.
So I would imagine this has got to be all over German media.
Yeah. Ryan, your card.
It's funny how we always relate these back to, it seems like this one team. Paraguay. Paraguay is again in the news for their physicality, their lack of playing football like Kylian Mbappe is talking about. But Paraguay played France. They played them to a pretty tough match. They had no cards, no yellows, no reds, no cards at all. And they had some ridiculous actions going on in the field that did not get called. One of them, and I almost said it a little bit earlier, during the PK, Sam, if you saw this, their guy went and started to scuff up a little bit of the PK spot. And I think Dembele's looking back at him and laughing like, bro, you think that's going to do it? Like, we're world class here. We're still going to put it in. But they just did everything they could, honestly, to try to get an advantage. They had no single card, though. But this is the same team that, had the red card earlier on in the tournament for the hands over the mouth. I don't remember if this was correct or not. Was their player also the one that stole the referee's watch too, or was that a Turkey player? I can't remember which one. It was in that match.
I have no idea. I can't remember.
They just had some ridiculous things that have come out of the Paraguay camp, though.
So, to add to that, Ryan, after the match, right, the goalkeeper throws the ball at Mbappe. And Mbappe is, obviously celebrating in front of him and like to the fans and everything. And he throws the ball at Mbappe out of, kind of just,
wild.
All right, whatever, man. So clearly, frustration on their end, after losing there at the end of the match. And I think there was a little bit of a scuffle because of that as well.
Right. I mean, they were playing with house money and they were trying to do anything they could to honestly, like, try to gain an advantage. And,
you know what that reminds me of? I know different country that he's from, but Diego Simeone.
Oh yeah,
it feels like very much like in Atletico Madrid, like what they would try and do, which is
because their jerseys look like Atletico. The stripe, the red and white, the stripes, they look like Atletico. So that's probably why it reminds you of that. I think it was wild. We had some other crazy storylines, honorable cards, if we want to call it. So one of them being, the Mexican fans that are going and doing the fireworks again outside of the England hotel. This was just last night as well. They had a barricade and they still were out there. Maybe they thought it was 4th of July down there and they were putting off the fireworks.
Yeah, they were helping celebrate dual citizens down there.
That's right, the dual citizens. Man, that was crazy too. Anything else honorable that you saw, Sam?
No, nothing honorable to shout out. I think we're gonna have more as this World Cup continues. But
of course,
I mean, it's always silly season.
Let's roll into some FC Cincinnati news. We'll do our bring it back around to the hometown team. Sam, TQL Stadium, they got a new concourse. We got a little makeover. So I found actually it was on Facebook that Monster Coat Industrial Flooring. I hope I didn't butcher that. They put down a new coating on the concourse, maybe a little bit of a textured one so you don't wipe out, on some of the wet surface there. But it almost looked like a little bit of a shade of blue. I think it's actually like a dark gray.
Yeah.
But a little bit of a facelift for the concourse there. I like that. I wish they could have expanded it. I know they're looking into that. But yeah, just something around the stadium we saw. There's going to be a lot more transformation, I'm sure, over the next year.
If you're asking yourselves what was it before, because I had never noticed the ground at TQL Stadium, it was just concrete. It was just regular concrete. So
now it has, I think, like a little texture to it. So
yeah, not bad.
I don't know why we're talking about the concourse.
Hey, Ryan, anything FC Cincinnati, we're hopping on and we're letting the people know because you're
I heard rumblings of this, but we found it. We saw it.
Yeah, Ryan deep dove for you into Facebook to find.
And we're going to see it on Friday as well because we're going to be playing Burnley at home. But before that, and I think close to around the time that this match is, the MLS transfer window, Sam, it opens up on July 13th. So everyone's wondering, Lewandowski, he's going to Chicago. We have some other MLS guys moving around a little bit. Gabriel Peck moving out. What's FC Cincinnati doing? That's a great question. We have some suspicions, ever since the last episode, we talked about Steven Jimenez. He apparently is going down to play in Brazil, the second division for Ponte Preta. He follows them now on Instagram. So you have to think that he's likely going down there on loan from what was rumored. They don't open their transfer window in Brazil up until July 20th. So we're probably not going to get an announcement for another, 15 days or so from that one. But that opens a little bit of roster space. Another one, Sam, we wondered about some outgoing moves. Is Gilberto Flores on the way out? Our center back, our young Paraguayan center back. We're just talking about him again. Via his Instagram, it appears that he might still be in Paraguay. So I don't know. It's interesting now that all the guys are back. They had a scrimmage yesterday that we saw, via Carter Chapley, I think, put it out. Even the team, just some videos as well. Doesn't appear that Gilberto Flores is around. Who knows if that's a personal thing or an agreement? I would imagine they're trying to open up a U22 spot because right now Gilberto Flores is under that position. He's 23 now, but he's still on that U22 spot. And we're going to probably look for another defender, I would imagine. Sam, your thoughts?
Yeah, I think we were talking about this one, at our break kind of podcast, and it was kind of the writings on the wall for Flores just hasn't been given the time. And I mean, to be fair, he's getting outplayed by even players that aren't in that position, right? Who aren't center backs. But yeah, I think we'll eventually maybe see a move there for both of these guys, Jimenez and Flores. I think you're just waiting on details to be finalized, because like you said, Flores being in Paraguay, yeah, it could be something personal. So maybe he asks for some extended leave, right, from the club, but we're getting down to it, right? It's going to be here at the end of the month. We've got the very, but the first match of the second half here, July,
I think, right?
22nd. Yeah. So, I mean, it's right around the corner. But that's all the rumors and the news that we have for you guys right now, because there is nothing, and we need something. We need something to grab onto. And
I just don't think
Burnley
Chris talked about there's going to be moves, right? And we're going to try to make some changes. But if you look down to what the roster actually is, there's not a ton of flexibility. Yeah, moving Flores opens up a little bit of space, so maybe that's the defender, move that comes in. Steven Jimenez,
it certainly wasn't Neymar.
No, it's not. Yeah, so it never seemed to really formally be the plan, though. Obviously, we talked about this last episode, but Denke's staying. Looks like Vander's, here for a while too. So we don't really have a ton of options other than, could we move another one of those high-priced center backs? And they're all in Cincinnati, so I don't think that's happening either. But on the second team, Sam, some big news happening with a young player. So FC Cincinnati 2 player. Well, I'm just going to shout him out here. Ayman Abraham. He is 2008, so I think he's 18 years old. He is a left-footed 6'5" center back, Sam. And he's not on the first team, or wasn't even. I think he trained. I went back and looked. He trained in the fall with the first team a little bit. He's signing with the Austrian first league team, LASK. Great move for him. A 2-year deal for him. LASK just won the Austrian Bundesliga in their cup over there in Austria. He made one appearance for FC Cincinnati 2 this past season, but 6'5" left-footed center back, and he's going abroad into Europe there. So good for him. I'm just wondering. I text you this. It's sad we don't have room for this guy. We could have used him in 2-3 years next to Andre Schirilla.
Yeah, that's what you were saying. You were like, man, what could have been the future of FC Cincinnati? This kid, obviously raw, undeveloped, but what development you're going to be getting over, in the Austrian league, with the likes of, a Leipzig that is over there as well. So good move for him. Happy that we can kind of maybe stake our claim to him, overseas, and go, hey, we helped him, get over there. Yep. But very, very cool, obviously, for FCC2 as well, because usually you see just straight academy guys, right, that would make those moves. But he was actually able to get, some playing time with FCC2. So shout out to him.
Yeah, I think it'll be interesting. We'll have to follow his career from there and see where that goes. I wish it was a loan, but we just don't own the rights to the player technically at that point when he's, in a young phase like that. Yeah. Bummer, again, just raw talent. Could have been a good one to sign. We saw, you shouted out Harrington, for Colorado, another guy that maybe making a big leap to a bigger team here in the future. So yeah, we'll see a lot more of this probably with just the academy that we have and some of the big prospects, but hoping we can retain some as well. But we're gonna preview a little bit of our match against Burnley. Again, this is a friendly coming up on July 10th at TQL, 7:30 p.m. They were again recently relegated from the Premier League last season. They will compete in the championship. JJ Watt, apparently he's going to be in town. Apparently he wants to get some skyline too while he's in town. But it sounds like he was recruiting Kirk Herdstreet to come to the match. And Kirk's like, I'm already down south. I don't know if I'm going to come back up. But it's like, why would you not? You're just tweeting out about how much you wanted to get into soccer, how much you love the World Cup. You're down on the Reds. Just tweeting about that. And you don't want to come up for this one. JJ Watt's inviting you to come sit with him. Why would you not? He's like, is there any match down in, Nashville? And I don't know. That should have been my honorary card there. Actually, there it was.
You're telling me, yeah, you can fly around for game day and Thursday night football. You can't just fly up for an FCC Burnley match and then fly back.
He was all talk about it, but I don't think he had any actual interest there. Sam, thoughts on this friendly? I know we've kind of behind the scenes talked about it a little bit and how they're really kind of pushing to sell tickets for this one, but
yeah, like you had mentioned, they're really pushing hard, trying to get pretty much. I think I've seen a video from Evander, from Nick Hagelin, Tommy G,
everyone,
pretty much everybody they can get their hands on to try and promote this, this just friendly. And yeah, it's been a while since we've had a Premier League squad, in Cincinnati. So obviously very cool. However, Ryan, they're not even in the Premier League. They're a championship squad now. So I think that's why it's tough to be selling tickets right now, is because you don't really know who's going to be a part of this match. There are 0 players that overlap between the two histories of the clubs. I was diving deep trying to figure out, like, is there any connected? Anybody play with anybody? 0. Nobody played with anybody. Nobody you should play on Burnley. No former Fs, like nothing. So there is no connection between these two clubs, and it kind of just feels very out of nowhere. And it would be similar to FC Cincinnati versus Wrexham, right? It'd be like just another like marketing ploy for American owners, right?
Well, they're trying to, bring the club back up to speed. And, we just had an inter-squad scrimmage I just had touched on a little bit ago, just yesterday. So now we're actually playing a different team. But can you really tell me a championship team is going to want to play in TQL Stadium and treat it like a real match, like a tune-up? They still have, a month and a half before their season starts. So,
yeah.
Like Sam said, who knows who's going to be there? They have some, key players. One of them being Kyle Walker, a former Man City player that Sam and I have been a fan of, and several other guys that I believe were in the World Cup as well. So are they actually going to play, a lot of their main players or not is the question. So if you are going, I hope you enjoy it, just to see, again, your club or our club live again, because it's been a while. But at the same token, it's like, are they really going to take it as serious or not? We'll see. I think I have a lot of thoughts on that. I think in a lot of ways they want to get back out there. They want to play because they've been watching the World Cup, but you also don't want to get hurt. Why risk injury and things like that when you have, a few more of these friendlies to go? Sam, I don't know. Do you think we'll see a lot of first team players for both squads?
Like you had said, Burnley had around 5 players involved in the 2026 World Cup. So you're adding that onto their squad of as far as who we're going to see. And so I expect maybe 4 to 6 nailed on, starters out of that 11 that you would see from Burnley, maybe 3 to 5 rotational first team guys, and then probably 2 to 4 younger depth bench pieces from Burnley. And I expect similar for FC Cincinnati. However, Ryan, tell me your thoughts, because for FCC's starting 11, obviously no Miles. So it's not going to be full strength, but I honestly, I think we'll come out with a strong starting 11 against Burnley to kind of get that first, MLS match feel, right? And then rotate the entire squad at the half.
Yeah, I think honestly, if this is a time to build in chemistry in the back line, you start and roll out otherwise your best, available center backs, just to kind of create some continuity there. And especially if it's like Obi, you want to get him back up to match speed too. Start Obi and have him play. Guidi doesn't necessarily need that. He's young. He's going to be fine. But just to kind of, again, just to get guys back into the rhythm of playing in real matches, quote unquote. So I see a very similar, maybe 7 or 8 starters there that you'd see come July 22nd. But that being said, it's kind of funny that we're doing a prediction for a friendly. Sam, do you think FCC is going to pull it out? They lost to Crystal Palace, I believe, before, but it was a good match in the last big one that we had.
That was a while ago. Different FCC. I think we win this one 2-1. I think FCC pulls it out. Maybe we're up 2-0 and we give up a late goal or something like that. But I think this is a good test for them. Obviously, championship. A lot of people put the championship up next to the MLS as far as levels, quality of play. And so I think we'll kind of see, right, where that stands. And, just to mention again, Burnley are playing other MLS clubs. They're going up. They're playing the Crew. They're going out, I think, to Colorado or no, Real Salt Lake.
I think.
Yeah. So they're playing like other MLS clubs. So we'll see how they fare as they go along, right? So take that into account as well as far as the players that you'll see.
100%. Yeah, I was just gonna say then, do they play less for subsequent matches then and more to start? Who knows? Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. But yeah, again, we want to preview now this for this episode of the U.S. men's national team game against Belgium. Sam, I think we can roll into it. This match is going to be tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Monday Night Football, Monday Night Soccer, whichever way you want to call it.
Monday Night Football.
Seattle's going to be absolutely rocking.
It's going to be crazy.
I mean, I would love to see the Monday Night Football kind of like video roll. I mean, it would be incredible. Carrie Underwood is singing.
Oh, come on. Don't do Sunday Night Football like that. Come on.
Oh, Monday night's different.
Yeah,
right.
Right. Monday night is ESPN. Come on.
You're right about that.
Come on.
Yeah.
Get it right.
It's going to be so cool. I think Seattle against Australia, you could hear them singing Country Roads. Like everyone was going insane. You're talking about a round of 16 game against Belgium, who we have some history against now. Like, it's going to be legit. So I'm happy that Flo is back. If you guys missed the beginning of the episode, he's here. He's playing. And we're just pumped because, again, we're 1-6 all time against Belgium. It's time that we go and do the thing because the last time we beat them, 1930, Sam. It's almost been 100 years. Now it's the time to go into it.
Come on.
I think Belgium are past their peak. They haven't looked great, but they've found a way to move on, even in their last match. Sam, your initial thoughts on this one?
Yeah, like you said, we've got some history with them. For people who don't understand the lore or don't know, back in 2014 in that World Cup round of 16, Belgium beat us 2-1 in extra time. That was the legendary 16 save match from Tim Howard that Ryan, has talked about multiple times during this World Cup. And that still stands as a record for a single match in World Cup history. So very cool there. But as of recent, right, we did play them in March of this year, lost 5-2 in that friendly. US gets an early goal, and then Belgium come back with just numerous transition goals and beat us up. So, Ryan, in this one, as you're looking at the U.S. men's national team starting 11, like you said, we get Flo back. So obviously it's a confidence boost, not only for Flo himself, but also the other players going, okay, we can kind of take a deep breath. We're not going to have to readjust really much, maybe. So how much does Balogun's return change your confidence against Belgium? And then any changes that you would have thought to see, but now that Balogun's in, we don't see, or vice versa?
Yeah, prior to Balogun being available today, for me, it was Pepe, and I didn't feel great about it. I think you got to play in a very similar system to what has worked in the World Cup. You saw it against Turkey. He just didn't look fantastic, so my confidence level wasn't super high, but the system had been working. So plugging in, Malik behind him and Weston there and Christian and Adams, like I just feel like that group is so strong in their chemistry and their experience playing in big time matches, but you got to have that point person. And Pepe works his tail off. He's had some good matches like against Senegal in the lead up, but in the actual World Cup, he hasn't been fantastic. And Flo has just been on another level. I mean, number one, Sam, he starts the charge on the defensive end. When they have the ball, he pressures and creates, honestly, a ton of turnovers that, all throughout the group stage. Every time the U.S. lost the ball, within 20 seconds, we got it back because Flo's right on it, or Tillman's on it, or Weston's on it. There's a collective effort to go and hunt the ball that I feel like, again, if you don't have Balogun there, it's a little bit different. I thought Balogun by himself would have a tough time playing against some bigger, more physical center backs. Well, Sam, Belgium just beat Senegal. So we don't have to play as much of the physical center backs. I think this is going to be amazing for Flo. I mean, he likes to get in behind. He likes to be a pest, and he's going to create havoc for the back line on Belgium. I'm ready for him to eat. I think he was all of the U.S. Honestly, I hate the fact that we lost 5-2 in March, but they are all a little PO'd
Yeah, other
lost
than
in the way that we did then, and they're going to come out hard in this one.
other than Flo, I would say no changes other than
Roll it out.
obviously
Same thing.
like Flo just returning back into the starting 11.
Yep.
So you keep it the same probably, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. Roll with what works, man. I mean, this is the collective effort for the team. You haven't seen a more physical US men's national team, a more collective group, ones that just like go at you. I mean, it's hard to play against this team. The only thing that worries me is just the speed. And I think Dest got a little exposed in the March friendly. Doku is going to be the guy that Belgium is going to look at to go at the outside backs, because before Dest and having Jedi Robinson go up forward left a lot of space for Doku to work in spaces where he can create, find Tillman in the middle, find De Bruyne in the middle. That's gonna be challenging. And then we haven't really played a super physical striker. Maybe correct me if I'm wrong on that. I don't think in this World Cup we've really had a guy like Lukaku that our guys have had to match up. Maybe Dzeko, but he's not as mobile.
No.
Maybe I'd argue Lukaku's not even as mobile either, but he's just class and he finds himself in good spots. I think Chris Richards is going to have to really do well at communicating, and him and Tim Ream have just been phenomenal at doing that this World Cup. So
yeah, so from a Belgian perspective, looking at just their recent form, they have not lost a match since March 20th of 2025.
Wow.
So I think they have like 11 wins, 6 draws or something like that, which is insane, right? Obviously narrowly won their group against Egypt. We were talking about how they just really haven't been what we would have expected and can honestly do expect from a Belgian side that doesn't really show up in these big competitions for the most part, right?
I had to go and check you on this. That's insane. Can you repeat that? The last time they lost was like over a year and a half ago.
Yeah, it was 2025. Yeah, what are you checking me out?
Yeah. I mean,
I got
that's
the stats.
insane.
Yeah.
I'm just like thinking, I was trying to see who they were even playing, but
that's additionally, right, like Ryan said, they get the win against Senegal, but they get 3 goals after that 86th minute against Senegal. So I mean, are they going to be a threat late? Is, U.S. men's national team really going to have to, bunker down if they're up maybe a goal or 2, right, towards the end of the match, so that way it doesn't slip through their fingers? But like Ryan was saying, De Bruyne, Lukaku, Doku, Thibaut Courtois, right? I mean, what a guy, right? Leandro Trossard. Trossard is probably one of the most underrated guys on this roster, right?
Oh, yeah.
He's got 3 goal contributions so far in this World Cup. Just made a move to Besiktas from Arsenal. But Ryan, I mean, walk us through some of the keys to the match, right? Obviously, you've got the history and everything coming into this match, but what are you looking for FC Cincinnati to the U.S. men's national team to kind of do in this, World Cup match?
Yeah, I feel like the big key for me is, again, just coming out and playing hard early. You've seen the U.S. team come in and score right away, and how that's brought confidence. The one time I think that we get a goal scored on us, then we kind of lose our confidence a little bit, but this group's just different. So I just feel like coming out and doing what we need to do early for me. Like you put in here, I think handling the midfield is huge. Obviously the experience of Tillemans with De Bruyne as well, Trossard, you're going to have I think a little bit of a handful there. So having Adams and McKinney and Tillman connected is going to be huge. You talked about late on in the match, who are those late game subs that can come in? Because Belgium just has so much quality even off the bench that I don't know if we can match that based on talent on paper, but just making the right decisions. One of the things that I don't think a lot of people are talking about is Pochettino doesn't ultimately trust a ton of players on this roster. I would say even when we were down a man, Sam, we played until the 80th something minute, with the 10 guys that we had from the start. So it's going to be interesting if the match goes on and we really need to bring somebody in, who does he actually sub off? That's what I think is fascinating. So that's something to definitely look at.
He's waited a while to make subs. It was 70th, 80th minute, right? Until he had to make a sub. And so, yeah, he's kind of known for that. Just, hey, let the players play. And I'll make the call, right? Or if you let me know, right? As far as form wise, if you're cramping up, whatever, especially in this heat, right? It was 100 degrees in that France match. But Ryan, the other thing that I'm looking at is transition moments, right? Transition moments are going to be everything in this match, but specifically because we saw this with Belgium the last time we faced them. They were killer on transition. Can the US win the ball cleanly? That there are going to be chances, right? If we are able to kind of convert, if we have a set piece and you get Belgium just going on the counterattack, can we stop that as fast as possible and I don't know, try and create chances that way as well. I think that'll be crucial as well.
Yeah, no, absolutely. This is going to be a fun one. I'm so ecstatic for this one. I think the boys are going to be absolutely buzzing. Seattle is going to be like insanely loud. The whole country is going to watch. I think we blow 32 million out of the water, from the past match, Sam. I think we get up to maybe 40 or 50 million that actually watch this one. I think somebody's looking at the numbers on how many people are watching, and they're like, we got to get Flo back. Like, we got to have Flo available for this one. And again, if you guys missed it earlier on, yes, we know the title was off. This just happened as we were planning this recording, but we're pumped to have Flo back. And I think for him, the mindset's got to be kind of wild to come out of the last match and say, man, I'm so upset. I'm going to be ready for the next one. And then you go through the next several days in recovery, but then you prepare for Belgium. And you might have put out a little bit of different people, for your different scrimmages and things like that. But they've been playing the same group for 3 or 4 weeks now. There's so much continuity there that I don't think this changes anything. Now, if it's been like a week or two, it might be different, but they're going to come in and be ready.
Go get it done.
I am so ecstatic, Sam. So on that note, like, we know where your prediction is headed, but what do you got?
Yeah, I've got the U.S. men's national team 2-1 in this one. I think Christian Pulisic gets a goal in this one, maybe even game-winning goal.
All right, Sam's locking it in 2-1. I'm going to go 3-2. I'm going to go 3-2 victory, a late winner. Everyone's going to go nuts. It's just going to be so fun. Yeah, Sam, I'm pumped for this.
All right, I can't wait. I can't wait either. But Ryan, you've got trivia question answer for me though?
Yeah, so again, the question that we had from earlier, who has scored the most goals in a single World Cup? And this is just for a single tournament. Sam, remind me who you had. Was it Mbappe with 9?
Yeah, Mbappe with 9.
So Sam was wrong on this one, but it was actually just Fontaine, this guy in the 1958 World Cup. He had 13 goals in a single competition. Absolutely insane. Honorable mentions at 11 goals. Sandor Koskas from Hungary, 1954.
Oh, yeah.
And then Herd Muller, West Germany, 1970. He had 10. Kylian Mbappe, Sam, had 8 in 2022. Ronaldo also with 8 in 2002. Right now, I think Messi's leading the Golden Boot with 7, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And so will they get up to, close to this number? I don't know. I was going to have my question be about Flo Balogun. He's at 3 right now. If he hits 4, Sam mentioned it earlier on, he will tie for the most amount of goals in a single World Cup for a U.S. men's national team player. So happy that he's back and playing. And let's get a win, Sam. Let's do it. We will see you guys next time. Thanks again for joining us tonight.